Okay, you guys, so real quick, I just wanted to say hi and thank you for watching my video. So it is going to jump around. You know me, I just tend to jump around a little bit. And the reason why I'm showing all this stuff is because I'm hoping that people will see that these are not all coincidences. They just can't be, with the way they're just so consistent in the messages that are sent and shown. I was just hoping that we could all look and just kind of see the consistent messages that were being shown. So I'll let y'all get going. Thank you for watching my video. I really appreciate it. Take care, guys. I'll see you later. I don't know, this might be my last video because I'm not sure. It took a long time to get this one up. So we'll talk to you guys later. Thank you. Oh, but in this, basically, it's just going to be showing the rituals and the symbolism that were shown constantly all the time in their lettering. I use anagrams and gematria to kind of decipher what's going to happen next, and the people behind these huge corporations and companies and how they influence everything. And unfortunately, people tend to be greedy and vulnerable because they don't have money, and they'll sell their souls to do things that maybe they shouldn't. But anyhow, here you go, guys. Thanks. I wanted to look at the cityscape. When we look at this, the touch, alone, hours, enough, long. Doesn't that look like it could be a graveyard? Like those are headstones. And here another picture with it. I don't know if you could tell on this picture, but there's all the lights above it are like, I don't know, they're just lights from above shining on this. But anyhow, when we look at the word cityscape, because that's what this looks like to me, is a cityscape. They're the numbers for cityscape. And you got a 101, and that's I can't breathe. So cityscape is I can't breathe. So let's look at the word enough up there on the top, enough. So here's just looking at the enough. The gematria is on top, the numbers 310 and then 420 and 70. And it's agon, if you want to spell it out, or O-E hung, and O-E is 55, which Super Bowl 55, right? And that's a caliph, and Kabbalah. And caliph is also spelled with a C, like as in Capitol Hill, remember, until a caliph. 310 is temples, filled of dreams, and 70 is Moderna. So where have we seen that name lately? Moderna. And then Ray God, which it's Raymond James Stadium. Suicide, which they'd probably like us all to do. And robot, which you'll see in a little while. All those dancers and stuff, they act very robotic. So just watch this in a little while. So that's enough. 55 Caliph and Kabbalah. Temples, Moderna, Ray God, robot. Long, up on the top over there, long. Numbers for that are, well, the numbers are 117 and then 48, is hit, farm, as in Gates owns almost all the USA farmland. Noahide, noble, as in noble virus. Elbeer, and did I show that in my first video on Super Bowl? I can't remember. Elbeer, I'll show it to you in a sec. So B Ariel, or B liar, COPD, that's kind of like an I can't breathe also. And 48 is wall, evil, blood, or XX, and that's from the word long. They've got the word hours, and hours is H hours, so that could be hours is DD, as in D-Day. I don't know, D-Day. And then, and I'm thinking 2 hours, time, item, hours, HS, gas also, and code, gas, JFK, red, as in all the jackets that they're wearing are red. Interesting they don't have red shoes on, that would make it perfect, but BLM, Black Lives Matter, and Cain, as in Cain and Abel maybe. Then we have alone, and look at all the arrows pointing, but we have alone, and alone, 116, a Noel, Leona. There's also ale on, need code, Babylon, in peach, which is kind of relevant to today. Take, cheese, girl, and ping, as in maybe ping pong, but that's also very fitting for NFL, if you all know what I mean. 47 is beast and time also might go with the hours there over here. But the alone can also be Elone. And here, I went to look there, and look at this, Elone. Oh, we're experiencing a problem. We're having an unplanned outage, and our team is working on it. So anyhow, they have a power outage there. So you can obtain your E-loans and get into more debt. And then I went to this company and looked at E-loan Simply Smart, and that right there, the word smart, should be a buzzword for all of you guys. It should be a red flag. So I went to look at this little E-loan company, and look, they've got this little girl acting like a little plane with her little arms out to the side. Her family's very happy to have their new house that they just got in debt over, but there she is, little plane arms. And this little girl too, look at her, her little arms are out like she's a little plane. So I just wanted to look at the word plane because they show us everything. There's also 288, we saw 288 above, but blood, fool, and plane. So you can get into debt with your little E-loan, and you're a fool, and you owe us your blood, and we'll take your child, and they can act like a little plane. Oh, so that's weird too. Okay, so there's plane. See the 288? This is E-loan and the plane. That's also the same numbers as long, 288, wall, evil, and blood, and double X. So also in that enough, we saw it was Moderna. Remember enough there, Moderna. So Moderna is also rod, omen, or demon, or dorman. And remember hold the door, like Game of Thrones, a hold the door, hold the door, and that looks like Holodomor. Remember that genocide thing, the famine? Anyhow, Moderna, or demon. Okay, so then, and we know how all these guys were like masked men. Okay, so see all the masked men, how robotic they all are? See that with their little poles? I just wanted to show you something. So in Genesis, which is C sign, if you look at the anagram, looking at Genesis 3:24, and there's a 3 and then the colon and then 24, but Genesis 3:24 equals masked man. And the masked man, that's in Gematria. 324 is Gematria for the masked man. And the anagram for that is Mike, Death's Man. And K is AI or CDC in Gematria. Let's see. Well, sorry. Oh gosh, this is so long for me. The masked man equals take heads MMN, and MMN equals 100, 240, and 40. And 100 is also T and Black Mamba and IT and Bible code. I mean, do you see how things kind of fit together? Let's see. Also, it says AKA harmonics shock, and AKA equals M, which is also FCC, JC. You could look at that as Jesus Christ, and February, which we're in February right now. So that's Genesis, and 3:24 is AKA harmonics shock. So I'm going to show you something that I found. Gosh, I was looking through the harmonics and all those violins that were playing, and I found this Uncle John's band, and I really like his site. But what I noticed is when I looked at this picture, and I'm sorry, I don't even know, it could be Michelangelo, I don't know, I'll have to look, but this painting reminded me a little bit. See the little cherub dude doing the crown thing? But this almost reminded me of this picture. It's just weird. It just kind of reminded me. So I started looking at both of them. Now look at this little cherub's holding out a crown. This little number 17, aka spelled out NWO. Now that the crown equals 1073 and 73, and dead people voted. That crown also equals, and it reminds me how this guy's holding out the ball, the football. Looks like it could be his crown. That's why I guess I was drawn to that. But O positive, warfare, wind of change, predatory action. We saw that predatory action, I think it was also in Alice in Wonderland. Central banking system, sacrifice, children, Joe, goat, sound, panic in DC, and Camp David. Now here in this picture too, see that elephant? You see his one eye, the elephant eye? The elephant eye equals military, yes Lord, predator drones, and Iron Mountain. Now in both these pictures, they both happen to have 14 subjects. When you count them all up, they each have 14. And 14 subjects, that's D elephant, and 85 equals storm, ram horns, and we have here, let's see, where'd it go? There's a ram horn right there. There's a little ram horn there. We see a ram horn there, and you know what that little twirly thing represents, right? I saw the D elephant because it was storm, and also that's redcoat. And it's left behind too, and that's like pretty much alone, right? Left behind would be alone. And it's interesting too because 85 is also Ashley Babbitt spelled that way. There's storm is 85. And I picked elephant because the D-Day also. And that elephant eye is also D-Day, or not D-Day, I'm sorry, 116 is royalty global reset. And OK Raymond, and we're looking at the James Raymond Stadium. But the 116 global reset. And ram's horn is also restart. So also that ram's horn, and see the word symbol, and these guys have a little symbol right there. So also behind the E and through the J there, you see the guy holding, he's on the elephant, and he's holding a whip. And whip also equals NFL playoff scenarios. It also equals the end in drone. And it equals presidential announcement. So also looking at both of these illustrations, when I looked at this and I see the blue dress, and I look at blue dress here, and it's beer LSD, LSDS, that's Corona, it's like beer LSDS, it's like, could that be like Corona MK Ultra? I don't know. But blue dress, Lord's alignment, and the man behind the mask. Kind of like Wizard of Oz, but we've seen all those masks in that ceremony. And also the little vase here, so I looked at the word vase, and it means alone, just like in the cityscape. Alone, force, radio, little boys, time, and time is item, and beast, and 9 days to go. So if we look at 9 days to go from when this ceremony ritual was at the Super Bowl, so that made me, when I saw 9 days to go, it made me look closer at this. So the ceremony or the game was on the 7th. So if I look at the 15 and 1, that's 16. So 7 plus 9 is 16. So there's your 16. And then the 41, we can flip it around to be 14, which is dead. Or 41 is all C, Alice, or M, I, or AI. But if we look also at 2, we're in February. And 17 spelled out is New World Order. So when I looked at that 9 days ago, it made me look at this differently, looking at all the numbers they're showing us. And so I came up with February, as in 2 is February, 16th, dead in world NWO. So I don't know, put that together. Then we saw these guys with the violins. Remember all them? So playing. I looked at the word violin. It's 828 and 81. And then, so 828 is Make America Great Again, Keep America Great. I know it's a mouthful. I looked at the anagram for that, and it's AI-MAR, or it could be ARM AI, Attain, Cage, Reimage, Repackage, Remake. Make America Great Again, Keep America Great. That could also be AT, which is T is target, a target, AI, or AI target, cremating, reimage, repackage, remake, basically the same thing. AI arm, attain, cage, reimage, repackage, remake. So also violin can also be shots, ritual, the wall, masons, tower, inferno, and car accident. And we knew what happened with, I think it was the assistant coach on one of the teams, right? The little car accident he had before, a couple days before. Anyhow, so Raymond James can also be looked at as my J Rod Seaman, but J is AI. And you saw those people holding the rods? That person has like a rod or a pole. That looks like a rod or rocket or pole. Remember those guys holding the poles? So it made me think of spare the rod, like spare the rod, spoil the child. And spare the rod is also Alpha X Omega and Deep State. And Tom Brady's names, Raymond Code, mainly seamen, that could be pirates, Ray's A and O, Alpha and Omega, all his names kind of point to Alpha and Omega, and Ray is God and these rays. Now one thing I found weird when I went to look for Omega, look in the definition there, Omega, I searched Omega, so I found this PDF about Fibonacci numbers, and I went to look at that, Fibonacci. So this led me through here, Tom Brady, Omega, Fibonacci, and I looked at Fib on a CCI, and I didn't know what that was. And you see California Correctional Institute, and it shows me a ribbon. So I look at this 5-second little clip. It's so weird. It's like, why would she, I have to look at her name, but why would she have this little 5-second clip? Anyhow, I don't know why it won't play, but it's a 5-second clip. 5, remember 5, the V, and it shows me ribbons and stamps. So I looked, it's like, why are they showing that? So I looked at ribbons and stamps, and look at that barcode too in the back, the barcode. But when I went to go look at what ribbon could mean in gematria, look what it is. It's Alpha and Omega, and stamps are 88. And the barcode, Rad Kobe, like rad is in radiation, evil, blood, sun, wall. So, did I show you all this yet? Stamps is 371 and 88, and that's Trump, Ray Info, California, Francisco, Pacific Palisades. We're screwed because all those are in California. And 371 is Book of Gates. Stamps and Book of Gates are the same thing. Remember also Gates is stage, so Book of Stage or Stage of Book. Just a quick shot of that California Correctional Institute. They've got a little triangle there. Got a little thing that looks like a little baby barn owl. And that's interesting. Almost looks like a sunrise, but there's 5 other little compartments in there. Anyhow, I was looking at Tom Brady, Omega, like why did the Alpha and Omega keep coming up? I know Alpha's father. So I looked also at that Fibonacci again, and it came up with this Bochi, and it's a Canadian and German, so Berlin and Vancouver, designed for specializing in large light installations. It's a private company. Their names together is BIM Radiophones, Hyperbola Boardman. But what was kind of funny when I went to look at both their names, the Bochi and the Weekend came up. That guy's name came up, and it came up under the name of Rex, the Rex. And the group released a 5-track, Wasting Your Breath, and the mildly successful cover, The Weeknd's The Hills. We've been talking about Capitol Hill. So We Are the Rex came up, and they're in Thousand Oaks, California. I'm seeing a lot of California cities coming up lately. And here's The Weeknd. That's the guy that did the Super Bowl ritual. And so for some reason, it's weird. He came up under Bochi. There's your X. There he is. So The Weeknd is The Knowing. He gives The Knowing under House of Balloons. I think I already went over that earlier. Okay, so funny looking at this name, and I think the Super Bowl is in California, in Los Angeles, right? Next year. So the Rex are an American alternative rock band in Los Angeles, California. And I came down here and looked at this. We Are the Rex can be Racketeers Woo, or Woo Racketeers. Racketeer, a person who engages in illegal business or other illegal activities. We all, I think, know what that is. The racketeer threatened to have his thugs vandalize the shop if the shopkeeper didn't pay him monthly. And also regarding the face mask that all those creeps were wearing. So face mask and Fringe. Remember the event 201 where the Fringe group and Fringe equals Black Mamba, which is Kobe, which we go back to Blackbeard. And the Blackbeard, the anagram is baritone, KB, for Kobe Bean or Kobe Bryant. And that could be Kobe B or KB Rad Cable. Anyhow, in Blackbeard, you know, they're all into the sea, the oceans, the pirates. And those pirates just happened to be the Buccaneers, actually, who were pirates. They ended up in the sea of cables. So it's kind of weird how it kind of goes back to all this. It's kind of loops. It's all related. And when these things keep showing up time and time and time again, look how they just all march and move together. Does that remind you guys of anything? Anything that's coming? Should we be worried or concerned about anything? You think? I don't know. Tom Brady sure has a lot of the Omega. The Omega, Seaman, Ray, Pirates. Sure has a lot of those showing up. A and O, Alpha and Omega. And Omega, 93 and 41. You reverse 41 is dead. And the MAGA and Omega, they're awfully close. Omega 41, the MAGA. I hear gunshots outside. And so the MAGA is 39, Omega is 93, and it's Super Bowl 55, and the MAGA is 55. Remember? So they got their little goats, their little chariots, they got the poles, they got the symbols, they've got the little goat head there, they've got the crown and the vase. So they just keep showing us. So 9 days to go. Okay, and also there's that NFL offering fans chance to buy $100 cutouts and stands for Super Bowl 55. Now, you know when it's got the Getty Images, look at this, you guys. So they're offering fans a chance to buy $100 cutouts. So look, the people, they get their little cutouts. They paid $100 for this. And look how freaking dumb people are, you guys. Look. NFL sold 30,000 cutouts to make the stadium full. So they cause the problem, they control the situation, and they come up with a solution, and all the little sheeple fall for it. They pay you money because, oh my God, I can't even stand this, but look at all the cutouts. Everyone paid $100 to have their cutout there. All I can say is thank God they're missing that extra T, because these people are so stupid. Do you guys know, of course this is February 11th, but do you know how many people, what they could do with $100? All these people spending $100, $100 per person for each of these cutouts. And the stupid cutout has the mask. Scam. Oh my God. This woke me up this morning just thinking about that. I don't even know. I mean, humanity, at least in America, can you imagine, you guys, what people in other countries, in other third world countries, could do with $100 that these stupid ass fans spent $100? First of all, so they're killing trees to begin with. Okay, even if it's recycled, who cares? They are spending $100. Do you think that any of these dumbass people, any of their families, possibly, or any homeless person or any vet on the street or whoever, what they could have done with that $100 that each of these cutout idiots spent? I'm sorry, I'm being so un-me-like, but this is just so disgusting to me. Like, what else could these people have done? I mean, how about if each of these people who spent $100 on these cutouts gave, I guess it was 30,000 cutout people paid $100 each. What would happen if they went to their closest elderly person and gave them $100 to help pay for their pets' feed bills, or for their food, or maybe a vet bill for a pet, or maybe clothes or food for that elderly person, or anyone in need? You guys, this is so disgusting. And you're so indoctrinated and enslaved that you even have your freaking cutout wear a mask. You scammed people. You're so ignorant. Oh my God, I'm sorry. This is so disturbing. It's so disturbing. $100 for these people to send their stupid ass cutouts to the stands with their masks on. What is this? Thank you, Frontline World. Oh my God. Seriously. Why the Super Bowl has healthcare workers seeing red. Yeah, red. As in those red coats that we saw during the whole ritual that all those stupid ass cutouts sat and watched and paid $100 to have some satanic ritual. You guys, is anyone paying attention? Okay, you guys, I'm sorry. I got off on a tangent. But I wanted to get back real quick to this spare the rod thing. Because I was looking at this, and spare the rod and spoil the child. You know that saying. So spare the rod is he's predator, and spoil the child is Potch Hill. And Potch is a variant of poach. So it's weird. Potch or poach, or I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but perform gas bleaching. And I got off on a little tangent, but when I looked at this poach, it came to a story about some stupid idiot that shot a deer illegally or whatever, but he got caught. And the saying in this whole video, or the whole article, was deer make people stupid. And I looked at that, and it says re-people kapu items. Kapu is forbidden. Dare Make People Stupid is also a MK Super Elite deed. And I looked at that as, keep going down, MK Elite deed Repop USA. And I think many of us know that the Repop and Reset is about depopulation. They wipe out the families and replace the kids. So guess what? I went and just looked up MK Elite deed. Okay, so what's strange? Okay, a few things. So this Grateful Dead, when I'm searching the MKP deed, it came up here. This is a Grateful Dead, oh gosh, hang on with the dogs. On this Internet Archive site, here's the Grateful Dead, and look at this. Look at their logo. It's like the Pepsi logo for the whole Super Bowl ritual. Remember? Remember that Super Bowl logo that popped up at this ritual? This is a still shot I took of this ritual. See that? And then see that? Okay, here they are kind of side by side. I'll pull back a little bit there. Anyhow, they just, look at this. So they have the Dead Covers Project 2021. So they're back in business, it looks like. Here's the Dead Net, Dead Covers Project 2020. There's their, I don't know, it looks, So this just happened to be the Internet Archive. Look, I'm going to take you up here. When I was looking, I actually searched for, look, MK. MK came on. There's your 1644, so MK4. And it happened to bring me to the Grateful Dead. And I looked at Charlotte Coliseum, which is spelled weird. Okay, do you see the way that they spell Coliseum? And you see the way Coliseum is spelled? And this just kind of shows you that they spell it wrong intentionally. And maybe because Charlotte Coliseum could only work, there's the way they spell it. Here's my other anagrams for it, but Charlotte Coliseum is anagrammed Tele Crim Holocaust, and we saw that earlier, the criminals, that other word that was like criminals, crim definition, criminal, meaning Oxford Dictionary says, ranging from gang members, wealthy and elite crims, co-pianist, farmers, hey, Gates, stage, hippies, and neo-Nazis. Charlotte Coliseum is Tele Crim Holocaust, just like the 5G or the frequencies that are going to be used, like Teleman, Lineman, Dark Cable. So if we wanted to look at this other anagram for Charlotte Coliseum from the Grateful Dead, who had that Pepsi logo that appeared in the Super Bowl ritual, a Molochis clutter, and that is sacrifice to deity. Also, it could be a cruel Molochis, which is sacrifice to deity, TT, and the TT equals 200, or people, radiate, fire, fire, head dragon, elite god, bloodline, fairies of light, Lenore, there's that alone thing again, and forbidden. TT, the 40, is also IMQ, Kofifi, CERN, Payne, Fauci, DARPA, liar, coffee table golf, two-ball cane, which has a little swirly symbolism to it. Wake and blue, like that lady's blue dress. Looking at Charlotte Coliseum and the Molochis clutter, it also, Molochis, it was page 295, it talks about humanity was dead, so to offer a sacrifice. It also says William Hone, February, so talking about page 295, Herald a Drama, page 28. Look to the skies. And you know that guy for, you know, the Weekend guy, doing the Super Bowl ritual, how he kept looking to the skies. And then all of a sudden the people were laying down on the ground. Anyhow, 295 equals Lumen, Test, Black Americans, and Red Alert, almost like red, like their jackets, and Borderline. When I looked at the word Grateful Dead, it was deflagrated you, and deflagrate is to burn or to cause to burn with great heat and intense light. I wonder, like all those lasers that we see, that looks like almost a dew weapon. Anyhow, to set fire, to burn, consume, burst into flame. So that's the anagram, deflagrated you, to burn you up. And here is the gematria, is 433, and then 104 is a simple. That's lockout and the Garden State. So I looked also at the Garden State, New Jersey. We'll get to that in a second. So looking at the gematria numbers, 14, and that's dead. Starlink, which you've got a lot of those overhead in the satellites, and those satellites can be beaming down all kinds of frequencies on us that we don't even want to, oh my God, are we going to even survive it? Jerusalem and the Quran, they're all 104. So looking at Grateful Dead, and then looking at the number 433 in the Garden State, I guess it was Wikipedia, but the Garden State, they called it Immense Barrel. And when you look at New Jersey, is Yes Renew J, and J and AI are the same. They're both 10 in symbol gematria, as is CDC. So New Jersey could be looked at as Yes Renew J, which is AI, or CDC. Also in this article here, I'll show it to you. So when they talk about the Garden State, they talked about Immense Barrel. And they were saying because such good things were filled, you can eat and open both ends, just like they play both sides all the time, left, right, all the time. But it was embalmers rain, embalmers. And rain, we can also look, not just rain like how you steer or control a horse with a rein, but also REIGN, like royal reign. So they talk about the Garden State, and they also talk about these farms, where they mention all the farming and gardening. So New Jersey, the numbers, the gematria is pretty big, 2125. Here it is, New Jersey, disaster which came from the sky. And look at the coin they just happened to have. Look at that coin. Do you see that coin? And it talks about crossroad of the revolution. Look at that coin. Now I just thought it was sort of interesting that that coin, let's see if we put this, if I can reverse that. See the post and the poles? You have that pole and post there. I'm going to back up here. You've got the arrows look into the sky there, pointing. You've got the point into the sky here. You got the point into the sky here. These guys are in water, round circle down below. That has a round circle down below. And this has got water down below as well, pointing to the sky. So crossroads of the revolution, 1999, 666. Just like if Brady had made all 5 touchdowns, he would have had a total of 666 lifetime touchdowns. And that's why I think that maybe he bumbled the contract that they had. I think that the champs, Bucks win Super Bowl, it could be clubs blown per views. And the Grateful Dead live at Charlotte Coliseum, spelled incorrectly, on 1995. You take that 5 and the 1, that is 6. So you'd have the 699. You flip everything, it could all be 666. Just like the champs could have had it. So sorry about my skipping around, but when you look at this coin, the New Jersey coin, crossroads of the revolution, And the Cambridge English Dictionary says crossroads has reached a important but uncertain stage. Talk about that's what we are right now. And at this Grateful Dead, I'm telling you, this whole list, when you look at the anagrams for it, minus all the dust, it's really interesting. Really interesting. Look, that's where we are right now. So when I went to their site, their official site, I was kind of interested. I was surprised actually that they're alive and well. Well, I don't know the well part, but so this is a 2021 project, and it says we're super excited for this year's Dead Covers project because let's face it, face like in face mask. We know you've been hunkered down and honing in on your musical and even more certainly your video skills. They're trying to draw people to using the technology of today because I'll tell you guys, I've been monitoring the phones and the videos and stuff. Every time we're on our phones looking at YouTubes and stuff, we're getting nailed with radio frequencies. Let me just tell you, I've shown it before. But anyhow, so turn on studio lights, pick like Jerry. Let's just look at this real quick. Pick like Jerry. So pick like Jerry, the anagram is epic like JKRR, and JKRR is vaccine and black man. Pick like Pigpen, because that's this guy's, I guess his little nickname. Pick like Pigpen is keep pipe. We saw the pipe in that guy's face, right? And pipe is title. King as in crown. And Elsie, I didn't look at the Elsie, but last chance, who knows? So these numbers here, 2315 is big E in Fed, and E is electronics. It could be electronics or energy or epigenetics, which we're dealing with that right now with all those. But they say peck like Pigpen and take it up an octave. An octave is a covet, and a covet is to desire wrongfully another's property, just like the Bible says, and they're actually going to take it. Featured on DeadNet during the month of February. So this is month of February, that's 2. So pick like Jerry, those are the gematria, and it's also Ray's birth. We were at the James Raymond Stadium. Anyhow, I thought it was strange that the Dead Covers project by the Grateful Dead just happened to look so much like the Pepsi logo that was in the Super Bowl stadium. I have to apologize because that is how the Coliseum is spelled. So this is Wikipedia. That's Charlotte Coliseum. Look at this, the Hive. Here's the picture of the Coliseum. And there's some things I want to show you. So look at this, Beam Road. It's near Beam Road. So I went to look at this a little bit closer, and here, Charlotte Coliseum, it's talking about it located Charlotte, North Carolina. Talk about Bojangles Coliseum. Bojangles Coliseum is J globalize consume. And the J is end of days, AI, or Lucifer and Satan. So this Wikipedia is stating that it was operated by the Charlotte Coliseum Authority, which also oversees the operation of Bojangles Coliseum and the Charlotte Convention Center and Ovens Auditorium. Ovens Auditorium is Auditorium's Venom, Adamun Virtuoso, Radiomin Sut Ovum, Radiomin U Vomitus. So here's the picture of the overhead of Ovens Auditorium. Look at that. And then I just thought I'd pick a couple pictures of the ovens at the Holocaust. Does anyone seem any kind of similarity to that? So looking at the construction of the Charlotte Coliseum began in 1986, which looks like when you add that 1 and the 8 is 9. All those can be looked at as 666. Opened on August 11th. They love 11. And even when you're looking at the Hive, which is such a code word for this cabal on Beam Road. So the coordinates 35, 11, 11. So the words that they use and they throw in your face, look at this. So inside the Colosseum prior to the Hornets game, and Hornets is thrones, and you know I've gone over Game of Thrones, and we're looking at the corona thing here, that's crowns, all kinds of royalty insinuations. Also, Mr. Little Billy Graham gets thrown in there, and his name can be looked at a couple different things. Army Bag Hill, you got the word halal in there. Hill Arab Gym, and I've shown you the capital hill is Til a Khalif, and halal is permissible or lawful in the Arabic word. In the Quran, the word halal is contrasted with haram. Haram. So it's also known as the 5 decisions, and we've seen a big thing with this 55. We see them flashing the 5 sign all the time. Now they talk about the Colosseum, how it's in the city of Charlotte, North Carolina, and let's see, it was demolished via implosion on June 3rd, 2007. So they mentioned the Bojangles Coliseum with the Charlotte Coliseum, and Bojangles Coliseum came up, and that was Jerry Jeff Walker. Now he was the singer that wrote Mr. Bojangles. Here's a little article. Jerry Jeff Walker, outlaw country architect, Mr. Bojangles songwriter, dead at 78. This is October 24th, 2020. And his song, he says, Walker's 73 live album, Viva Terlingua, is a cornerstone of the Austin, Texas cosmic cowboy sound. There he is. So an outlaw, and there's getting his images, that's a problem, but outlaw, we've seen that word come up, right? And that album named Viva Terlingua, it has the name antiviral in it, but it also says reevaluating IV, and now he's dead. So I want to go back to our weekend singer. Here he's being shown with all the dead people at his feet, like the birds in the video that we saw. Here he is looking up to the sky. I mean, maybe he's praying to this obelisk that the Super Bowl's logo had in it with the all-seeing eye. I found a little interesting. The obelisk looked very, well, not super similar, but you've got the little tower there. It's an old photo of the second crematorium building at Majdanek before it was burned by the Nazis. And this was rebuilt by the Russians from the original plans. So when I did a little bit more looking into this event, I came across a site that talks about the operations and battles. This is a huge site. I'll leave the link. But one of it in there, it says the Cobra operations of Northern France. And you know how we started this whole COVID thing with the dying of the Black Mamba. Remember his name? Kobe. They talk about the D-Day maps, and remember in Operation Warp Speed, that guy was talking about D-Day, the beginning of the end. So I'm looking at the names of their battles here, and one of them, the situation in the Ardennes area, the word Ardennes is ensnared, the anagram. So this is the site that I'm at, this library. Look at that. All that's missing is an L for Alice. And in this link, this virtual library here, it has a page on Mobile Killing Squad. I haven't looked at that name, but the massacres in Eastern Europe. Here is a map, And all these dots are where the mobile massacres occurred. And you guys remember, pay attention to those high-profile vehicles that we've seen all over the place suddenly pop up. And they just happened to pop up conveniently right before this whole pandemic outbreak. And they were there for about probably 6 to 8 months before this outbreak, because I videotaped huge parking lots with huge numbers of these delivery vehicles, these high-profile delivery vehicles. What I wanted to show you, what I think is really weird, is I'm in Westfield Shopping Center. It's over there. And there are so many Prime trucks, Amazon Prime vehicles, and these white vehicles, I don't know who they belong to. But you tell me, I've been here for 20 years, these vehicles have been here maybe the last 6 months. I just want to show you this. I think it's a little creepy. Yeah, there's some big things they're putting up over there. This is just a typical shopping mall, but these are Amazon Prime vehicles, all of these. Then you have these white vans. I don't know what these are. Enterprise. So you got these truck rentals and the Amazon Prime. They're all over. Tell me if you guys have seen a pickup in your white vans all of a sudden. What does this say? Geo Group. Amazon Prime. Geo Group? I'll have to look into that. Look at that, you guys. I mean, they're all over. And just strange. Anybody notice that the antenna's going? Anybody notice tons of Amazon Prime vehicles? Look at that Mercedes too. All Amazon. All Amazon. Are they really delivering that many packages in this one little area? I just found it interesting. I've been wanting to document this. One time I actually did come and videotape this. I got home and my videotape was gone, so I must not have pushed the button right or something. But so it's the Amazon Prime, huge lot of Amazon Prime vehicles, and these white vans. Get around the oleanders. All right. Supposedly they're Enterprise. Some of them are. I don't know. Fleet. Some of the white ones aren't here. Usually there's a little bit more of the Enterprise. I don't know, that doesn't look like it fits in, but isn't that kind of creepy, you guys? I thought it was creepy. Look at those tinted windows. What do you think about that? All right, just curious. Okay, gangsters, I'll let you go. Bye. So they know what's coming, they know what's going on, and they're using, in fact, I've looked at the Amazon, the vehicles, they have AI, the 5G capability in them. I've done research on it. I've seen the patents for it. I know they have it. So these things are, they have AI capability, these delivery trucks. So you want to talk about the mobile killing units. These mobile killing units, let me go look at that name right now. I haven't looked at it though. Let's see what this is about. There's so many words associated with Holocaust stuff or enslavement, or just look. Oh, I guess I did look at the word. So unsparing Sie Pet. Operation Bagration. Operation A Aborting. So let's just look at this. Unstrapping, appetizers, Argentines, we've seen what's happened to them. Entrapping, super agent, gunneries, insurgent. There's tanneries, like the wall is Taw Hill, Taw is drying out. Repasting, repeating, like they do every time they wipe out a whole generation, start all over. Here's eugenists. And eugenics is the study or practice of attempting to prove the human gene pool by encouraging the reproduction of people considered to have desirable traits and discouraging or preventing the reproduction of people considered to have undesirable traits. Let's see, who called everyone the degenerates? Who was that? Part of the government? Anyhow, pestering happens to be one of the words, and we know in the art of war, they said noise and disturbances are part of wearing down the enemy. Like we get unseating, reseating, just like those stupid cutouts that went to the Colosseum. With their face mask on. We've got sprint, center, trains, that's trapes, but that could be traps. You've got the word stage, like gates. In fact, there he is. So I'm just saying there's a lot of words from that we can see. Mobile killing squads. They show you everything, you guys. So it says wherever the mobile killing squads went, they shot, and I'm not going to say the word, men, women, and children without regard for age or gender. Mobile killing squads killed more than 1 million, and I'm not going to say, anyhow, it just doesn't stop. Talking about high profile vehicles, I got Five Hill Air, Evil Air Police, HGHF, and that's 29, 174.29, but began is also 55 and 29. And began, remember Super Bowl 55, it seems like it was a ritual, so maybe that was their ritual to begin something. High profile vehicle can also be HHOL, Chief Privilege. Looked at those numbers, Black Magic, Clock, Mark, Goat, Panic. It also equals pence. And just going back a little bit to the reference that I was making during this, when we were showing this, and regarding the vehicles. So here are the numbers for armored vehicles. We come up with Donald Trump, Joseph Biden, Lord Ray, Ray to Find God, Keep America Great, Hidden Pattern, Temple Mound. They're all 138, simple gematria. Armored vehicle is also 1000. 7 is God. Hebrew, no, I'm code. So I'm wondering, 7, wasn't that the day of February 7th was the day of the Super Bowl? So now I want to look at the Amazon Prime, because those were the vehicles, the high profile vehicles I showed you in that parking lot video. Founded February 2nd. And its industry is internet. Owner is Amazon. You don't even have a person. It's Amazon. So if there's 150 million people using Amazon, and let's just go look at Amazon Prime. Here are the numbers, 806, 786, 131, Amazon Prime. Here's Amazon Prime, and Tiva is a vet. See You in DC, which we've already done that, December 6th. Vengeance Vibes, as in frequencies. And there's Mr. William Gates. He just keeps popping up. Now here are the anagrams for Amazon Prime. Airman Map Oz or Marine Map Oz. And I'll tell you, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there's a lot of overhead airplanes going on. So maybe they are mapping things out. Remember the D-Day maps we looked at? And remember Operation Warp Speed? He said D-Day was beginning of the end. Remember Operation Warp Speed? Now that's Health and Human Services. I flipped it around. But I wanted to look at the DEA. That's their logo. There's the Pepsi logo we discussed and showed. Here is the Grateful Dead logo and the Health and Human Services facing the right way. But we've got a lot of consistencies going on. So Amazon Prime. And when I went to Amazon Prime, Wikipedia, it said there, Prime Day redirects here. So Prime Day, that's weird. So look at the little swish, the little smiley face. They know they're getting away with stuff because all of us are so Stockholmed and sheepled, like those people who bought those face cutouts and spent $100 on it just to not be there. It's all a game for them. So there's Amazon Prime redirected from Prime Day, and you look at Prime Day, and that equals E pyramid. Amid prey, M die prey. It could be P army die, and P is ball, a lab, or cow. P army die, pi ram die, pyro fire. That brought me over here. Oh wait, I'll just finish. The Y dire amp, Y equals patriot. Armageddon comes, and magic storm, and 25, which is Y, is FEMA and behead. But the pyro fire, for some reason I thought of Richard Pryor. Here's Richard Pryor, and look what this says. It says Netflix is a joke, so it says that mean you be dead when they through, right? This video just happens to be 2 minutes and 36 seconds long, and black people just happen to be 2:36, as do snakes. And it's also air sign. Look, fee, fi, fo, fum, fee, air sign. And light beer, like light and like Corona beer, light as in weaponry, the energy weapons. And look at his name. Look how long. Richard Franklin Lennox Thomas Pryor. Was he born to royalty or something? Trenchant Observations. He's a comedian. And looking at his name, not using Richard Pryor, but the Franklin Lennox Thomas, it comes up with Flatliner, Mason, Dry Chain Whore, KNXP. And KNXP is 410 and 65, which is Ritual, Dutch, I7, Omega X, Do It Q, and Gas Fire. When I looked at his whole name, Richard Franklin Lennox Thomas Pryor, it's Hills Norm, Antenna, Pyric, Dark for Ox, Pyric. So remember, we've had the Capitol Hill, we've had New Normal, we've got lots of cell towers coming up. We've got this Pyric thing, Dark for Ox. Ox is us. And looking at this little YouTube video thing, when I looked up the word Pyric, it's, look at the little red coats. Victories in history. And Pyric victory is a victory that inflicts such a devastating toll on the victor that it's tantamount to defeat. Winning a Pyrrhic victory takes a heavy toll that negates any sense of achievement or damages long-term progress. The phrase originates from a quote from Pyrrhus of Epirus. We can always go back to the Bible, right? Pyrrhus of Epirus, I guess that is. Look at that. Rush ops repurify. Or repurify rush ops. Like get rid of the degenerates. Just want to throw that in there. Whose triumph against the Romans in the Battle of Asculum. And this is funny. I went to look at 4907 in Gematria. And how fun is this? It says, do you really think your corrupt system is going to transfer into the correct one? Ha. So I went a little further looking at this, pronounce it Pyrrhic, I guess. Five most costly Pyrrhic victories in history. And look how new this is, relatively new. January 21st, 2021. It's already got 190,000 views. So it's this video with all these red coats with the ships in the back, the pirate ships. Think this was made for us. So they're talking about the history of war, possessive pursuit of victory. So, and talks about the unrelenting want to win. He's talking about the costliest Pyrrhic victories in history. Wow, look at all the dust on my... Anyhow, so it's been going on for a long time. You know, it talks about ferocious slaughters, making bloodiest single days of battle. So this is for the Napoleonic War. Corpses of shattered French invasion. Look at the bridge. And you know, these are all symbols. This is put out for us, this video, I think. Look, the little Mason shake. Look at that. There's the Masons. They're talking about alliances with each other. Look at the 8. That's infinity. See, they always work together. Marriage of necessity. There's your 8 again. There's the royalty, the crown. Look at the XO on this guy's collar. That's ox for us. And look at the upside down cross. That's satanic. Now they're talking about Napoleon. Anyhow, they're talking about war. They're talking about how they always work together. And they're talking about plans and preemptive invasion of Russia. Look at those. Those look like those lasers that we saw at the show. Here's your round wheel. There's sword. Sword is word. And look at his hand in his vest like that. That's Mason. That's Freemason signal. Anyhow, here we've got our red coat here, the red color. There's cannon fodder. All the troops are wiped out. Oh look, now we've got some cold stuff. There's your elephant with the one eye. Here's our maps. Got the maps. Here how they're using the civilians to use them in their wars. And now we're talking religion. So they're talking about Christianity here. There's your fires. And now they're talking about forced conversion away from Christianity. And this made the war because people were refusing to convert. Look, more elephants there. So very quickly here, we keep seeing the elephants. So I'm just wondering why. And when I looked at the anagram, it's Eaton, LPH, and LPH equals 88. Also AA Ray, spelled R-A-E, and then that could be looked at as 11 Ray, 11. And Bible Magic, Card, Fake King, Law, Decode, and Child. And also we see Trump is 88. They've still got those elephants showing. They're talking about the massacres. Look, it looks like, look, the arms up in the air like that other thing I showed you. Things pointing up. There's the Persian king, and there's the coin, and there's the crown. Look in the background. A mirror bank with all the discs. Here's Battle of Avery. Look at the masks. So this is talking about the forcing people to convert away from their religion. Here's the Battle of Lützen in Sweden, talking about a golden age and So here's more red coats. Here's the Swedes. They're going against Germany. Line of the North. Oh, they got rid of him. Line of the North. They assassinated him. Where have we seen this little group of people before? Anyhow, it looks like he's been assassinated. The Catholics and Protestants are wiped out, and the Swedish led Protestants to victory. Look, more elephants. Look at that mask. See that mask right there? Okay, now look at this guy. This is the same guy, the singer, who did the Weeknd show at the Super Bowl. Screenshot the Weeknd's Blinding Lights video. He is the guy, the singer who punched a police officer in the head, will headline Super Bowl 55's halftime show. And he's the one that did it. This was November 15th, 2020. Look, he almost looks like the Joker, but look at the blood. Look at them. Talk about Homeland Security. They just set everybody up. But everyone still goes and watches the ritual. See, here's the guy. Same guy who did the NFL show, the Super Bowl. NFL's decision to tap artist who assaulted police for Super Bowl halftime sends a clear message. So if you don't think the Super Bowl is in on all this plan of the big BLM and all the anti-police stuff that's going on, all the riots, if you don't think they're part of it, the Super Bowl, all their little rituals for all the killing that they're trying to show people with the purple robes and stuff. Look at the checkerboard stuff. This is all part of the story, you guys. It's all part of the stage. Gates' stage is talking about Rome being the head of the whole empire. Here's some more red capes. All roads lead to Rome. So here's more red coats here. More British. This is British assaults. And my coding came up with the word Brits, by the way. There we go. Victoria British. More wars. They're talking about untrained farmers defeating the redcoats. So this is a good sign, I guess. Look at that. And they were considered instigators. But this is mass genocide too. Large death numbers. Says when the redcoats came for them, would the colonists stand and fight? During the siege of Boston, Lexington and Concord, they're talking about the American Revolution. They're talking about rebels. Anyhow, keep talking about the redcoats. So again, if you don't think Super Bowl wasn't a little heads up as to what's coming, we better wake up. Wake up, everybody. Wake up. I'm just going to add just a couple more things that I wanted to put in that I kind of overlooked. One was regarding the Weeknd, the guy who sung the Super Bowl 55, who brought that in. Here's the Weeknd brings House of Balloons to Super Bowl 55. And here we're talking February 7th. So the anagram for House of Balloons is flushable, no, like the Degenerates. And going back to Tom Brady, the quarterback, I've seen headlines that say Tom Brady quarterback, which is well known, he's a quarterback. Anagram is backyard quarter tomb. And then this is how to butcher cattle. So number 3 is quarter the carcass. 5 is cut off each leg with a meat saw. And I just happened to find a little quick video of the Knicks comeback fourth quarter slaughter against Charlotte. And Charlotte was, as I was showing you guys, the Charlotte Coliseum that the Grateful Dead were playing in. And I kept wondering why I kept seeing all those elephants, which we kind of went over. But One more thing I wanted to show you, these war elephants. Elephant, the anagram can be looked at as the penal, like the penal code of or relating or prescribing punishment as for breaking the law. Subject to punishment, legally punishable, So then I looked at Noahide law. I just quickly wanted to know what that meant because that kept coming up. The word caliph kept coming up, and that's an Islamic leader, and that makes me a little nervous. See California for caliphate. Ooh, that's not a good sign, and I've heard from many people who are in very high up personally have warned me not to be in California, but I don't know if anywhere's safe. Anyhow, you look at Noahide law, and the anagram is I know head. And you look at the wall, tall hell. You look at Capitol Hill, till a caliph, makes you a little nervous. And then you top it off with the fact that President Trump silently affirms the Jewish Noahide laws. And I verified this. This article here was April 2nd, 2020. And not only President Trump, but Election Day USA has been acknowledged and affirmed by every president every year since Jimmy Carter in 1978, and they sign the Noahide Law. The 1982 proclamation by Ronald Reagan states that this education included the eternal validity of the 7 Noahide laws, a moral conduct for all of us regardless of religious faith, which that's fine. It's the penalties that when or if you mess up on the laws, the penalties, we go back to being beheaded, hands chopped off, whatever. It's very violent. But look at the 7 Noahide laws. Maybe that's why the Super Bowl was such an important ritual for them. And they showed us the red coats. They basically gave the heads up for the frequencies that we're going to be doused with, murdered, genocided with, the frequencies. There's all kinds of patents on sonar and deadly frequencies that we're going to be bathed with. They showed these guys who are now dead laying on the ground literally rolling up their sleeves to take God knows what. Who knows? But after they rolled up their sleeves and this guy looked up to the heavens, they were all dead, like those birds in the video I showed in the video before this. And if no one thinks or agrees that this is some kind of satanic ritual, you guys are dead asleep and you're more mind controlled than I thought, but love you anyhow. So from Alice in Wonderland, with all the hearts, all the symbology that happens, all the signs that they show us, all the little games and acting that they show us. If we can't read the signs, you guys, it's just too bad. I don't know what to tell you, but okay, I'm going to finish here. Thanks for watching the video. There's a little bit more left. If we all stood up and said something, though, we could take this down, you guys. It says that the militia, the people, could stand against them. Okay, so his name, Inferno Mola, we've seen that name, KNX, and KNX is Storm, Starlink, Satellite, Lord, and Mr. Ray. Fathom, Killer, Anon. Anyhow, we have a lot of, this is Richard Pryor's name, so Non-Life, Lone Shark, NXTM, and that means Trump, Babylon, and Corona. I'm going to talk about the Inferno Mola, and the Anon NNX and the KNX. It's interesting because the letters I ended up coming up with, still having extra letters, still seem to add up to be the same. See how they're both 71? It's weird. Different words ends up with different letters, but the letters they still equal the same numbers. And one of the words that I got was the Fathom, Killer, Anon. Fathom is, they're talking about the depth of the sea, equals to usually 6 feet of water. And then here, NNXS also equals 88. But Trump, Son of Light, Russia, Biden is the beast, tsunami, mountain, sports, important, Supreme, Economic Reset, Koran, Smart, Target. That's all 71, and you know, you flip 71 around, that's 17, and 17 spelled out is NWO. So part of those high profile vehicles was also Enterprise, and remember Starship Enterprise? It can be, the anagram is Erie Serpent, or Enterprise, and Pesterer, Peter Rains, Repet, that can be repeat, and Prior Nest. That's one reason why I went to Richard Pryor also, because the word prior. And prior, of course, one that prize, and tell me that these enumerators trying to list and target everybody and trace everybody, that's not prying. But looking at Enterprise, it says an organization, especially a business, or a difficult and important plan. They always use the word plan. In fact, a lot of the government documents I looked at, and one page alone had like 31 words of the word plan in it. So enterprise, project or undertaking that is especially difficult, complicated, or risky. The word mullah came up, and farm leader. They had something in India. Hana Mullah alleged that the government had connived with some criminals to beseech the farmer's stir. He was responding to the violence that broke out in the national capital during the farmers' tractor rally early in the day. This talks about well-planned conspiracy by enemies to malign farmers, and we know who has the most USA farmland. Farmer leader Hana Mullah has alleged the well-planned conspiracy by enemies to derail the farmers' protest against the new farm laws. So mullah and mullah, they're interchangeable in Islamic countries. It's a title of respect used in Islamic countries, a teacher or expounder of Islamic law. So I'll get back to the rest of the video that we are going over, but just remember all these words start adding up. So in this website, also the maps of battles. It also has the names of those: Omaha Beach, Utah Beach. But I'll leave the link to this because I think it's interesting. The project of ACE, or whatever, put the L in there, there's Alice. Go ask Alice. Oh yeah, and back to Bojangles Coliseum. The Bojangles guy, Jerry Jeff Walker, and these are his numbers: 1200, 120, and 20. Well, isn't that sort of interesting? The 120 and 20 also happens to be Mr. Gates here, and T, he's associated with the number T as well, the numerical value, which is also Kabbalah, which is also caged. So are these just all coincidences, or is it just a huge coincidence too that, by the way, it's been taking me about 6 days to get out a video because I do have a Microsoft systems. I think a lot of us have PCs. So there's a reason that they don't want the information out there. There's a reason that I think that things are happening, and it's difficult for me to get the message out. I know other people are trying to get the message out too, but just look at this as well. So the Grateful Dead that has been kind of asleep, and then it seems like they've come alive again. They've got the pink is one of their, it seems like it's a big color for them, and P-Ink, pink, it's Real ID, and also LAR die, derail, railed, redial, relayed, but there's LAR die, and LAR means guardian or protector. It's almost like they're protecting their information from people getting out. That might be a stretch for some of you guys, but LAR is also Roman religion. Seems like all roads lead back to Rome. LAR is also light armored reconnaissance, like a armored vehicle. And when we go back to the Super Bowl halftime show, here's a picture. It's a still picture taken of the weekend guy. Look at Look at this. Now this could either, is this like a cell phone? Talking about radiomin, suit, ovum, radiomin, euvomitus. They're showing you all the people that are dead in the stadium. And that's after he looks up to the heavens and then they all die. So I wonder what they don't want people to get out, the messages that they're constantly trying to stop people from getting out. There's your cable. Cabal, cable, all going on at the Raymond James, The Art of War. That's the same numbers, The Art of War. I guess it's just all a coincidence. And you know what's sad, you guys, is we could have a great American stuff if we could just get these corrupt bloodlines out of our hair. But remember that 828, Make America Great Again, Keep America Great, that anagram, AI, arm, attain, cage, reimage, repackage, remake. That's the Make America Great Again, you guys. That's the MAGA spin that we're getting. Paganism is MAGA spin. And they do it all in our faces right in front of us, because crowds go wild for famous people who actually have just sold their souls. They've sold their souls to the elite at our expense. And I just wish that my species wasn't so stupid. Look at them show us everything. Sap. Look, we're a bunch of saps. They're showing you how stupid you all are. Not you guys. Look at that. Right in your face. The word sap. Isn't that funny? And the stupid face mask with all the cutouts.